everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make beads and how to turn them into a pair of earrings. I'm using two different bead molds. This one has no holes, so you have to drill and then you have to put in an eyelet screw. So if you're not sure what an eyelet screw is, it looks just like this. These will have the pre-made holes in them. So for this one, you won't need the eyelet screws. You'll need some head pins. And I have these really fancy looking head pins. Normally, you can get just like little circles on there, a little ball at the end. This one's just a little bit fancier. And you'll need some jump rings, and of course you'll need some fish hook earrings, or you could just call them hook earrings. You'll need some UV resin, and you'll need some flowers. So I have two different color flowers. So one pair I'm going to make yellow, another pair I'm going to make purple. Now I was asked a question about making beads with this particular mold, and I made beads last year, and somebody had asked, they wanted to make earrings and if it was possible to make earrings out of these. So I explained how, but I thought I'd make a video just so that they could see how you can do it. And then if you also have this bead mold, you can learn how to make beads out of this one. Now, let's see, you'll also need, of course, your UV lamp. I have a 36 watt. You'll need a drill, and my drill is just a little nail drill. I got this for $10. It was either off of eBay or Amazon. If I can find the link, I'll put it down below in the description box. Let's see. You'll also need a little brush. Let me see if I can find a little brush. Where did my little brush go? Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Thought I lost it. You'll need a little brush to get little bubbles out. And also a way to keep bubbles out of your flowers, you can use a little mixing bowl, and I'll show you what to do to try to get most of the bubbles out of your flowers, because they do collect air in them when you put them into your mold. So the less bubbles, the better it looks. Okay, so let's begin. So we'll start with this mold, and I think these I will make yellow. So I'll do the yellow flowers, and I'll just use another mat to cut them on. So you will need a pair of scissors, and you do need, where are they? My tweezers. Also, I have a new setup for my camera, so it doesn't bob as much. I don't think it bobs at all. So I know the other one, it was like a flexible arm that held my camera, and if I hit the desk or even when I touched it, it would bob. So I got a new setup. So please, if you like this setup and it seems like it's working really well, please leave a comment below and let me know if this is a good setup. Okay, so let's begin. So I'm just going to, you can move some of this stuff out of the way for now because we're not going to use it all at once. Give us a little more work room. just clip some flowers. Try to keep them just on a silicone mat so that they don't kind of fly all over the place. You have to be careful because if you have like any air movement or anything, they kind of escape you. So we'll make 2 beads. I think I'll cut a few more flowers. We'll just fill it in with a bunch of flowers so it looks really pretty. And basically I'm just cutting off the petals. And then any garbage you can just set off to the side. And then to start, we'll put some resin inside, just a little bit. And then you can look inside. I don't know if you can see in there, but there are some bubbles, so you can just scoop away or puncture those bubbles because sometimes they burst. I think I see another one there. And we'll do the same with this one. Usually if you have a good flow from your UV resin when it's pouring out, you won't get any bubbles, but there's always that chance. And I'll just set that aside. We'll take the bowl, pick that up, take your bowl, trying to make sure everything's in frame with the setup. All right, and then we'll take the flowers and then just put them right into the UV resin. Now I didn't fill up the molds all the way, only part of the way, because the flowers will take up some of that area. So you want to make sure that you don't fill it up all the way. And what is this? I got a little spot in there. I'll just get that out, set that aside. Okay, and just work this around, and you can just take, we do have some bubbles in there. What you can do is, it's not going to harm the flower because it's in the UV resin. You can use either a flame to get the bubbles out, or you can use a hot gun or a hair dryer. Either way it'll work. I'm just trying to get a paper towel. I couldn't reach them. Okay. And then you can just take them, just start putting your flowers in there. Now, if you see some bubbles as you're going along, they sort of rise to the top. If you move it around a little bit. Okay, now that one's full. So now we'll start with this one. And we can use a few more, get some more in here. Oops. Now they're sticking to me. It's easier to collect them with the brush. Just make sure they're coated. I think the yellow color will be really pretty because it's really a nice springtime color. Okay. Now if you have some excess that has come out, you can always just wipe it away. Makes it easier because then you don't have to file it down, and also get the bubbles out. I see a few. Sometimes you'll have to bring it up just a little bit closer to make sure you get all the bubbles out. Let me see, I think I can probably put one more in there. Let me grab another one, put it in there. Okay, and now we're going to cure this for about 180 seconds on one side, and then you're going to flip it over, and then you're going to cure it again on the bottom side for 180 seconds. And I'll be right back. Now that they're finished curing, we can remove them from the mold. Look how pretty these are. Now, this one seems fine. It just has a little rough edge. And then this one has the same, just a little rough edge. So what we can do is you can use a little file like this, metal file, or you can use a nail file. That would work too, or a piece of sandpaper. So all you do is get those little rough spots off, and we can cover that up after we file it down with some more UV resin. So just do it just delicately. So if there's also like a little ridge, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little ridge from where you top it off on the mold. So all you have to do is just file it gently to round it off, and then we'll be fixing that in a minute. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, I got them all sanded down, and I kind of rounded it off a little bit, so it looks like a, you know, perfect little bead. Now, this is the drill, and I've got a very, very, very tiny drill bit. So what I'm going to do, just turn it on, and where I sanded it, or filed it actually, I'm going to use that as the top. So I'm just going to hold it firmly and then just gently start to drill the hole. Now it can get away from you, so you got to be real careful, and you also have to be careful that you don't drill your fingers. And you just want to go down deep enough so that you can put that eyelet screw in. And you take your second one, Just do it very carefully. And I have this set on low. There we go. Oops, it's getting away from me again. Okay. And then if you have like, oh, any kind of brush will do. Makeup brush. Just brush off all that extra dust. Okay, and then let's see, where did I put those? There they are. Take your two eyelets. Now, so there's the hole, and these are actually a little bit larger, but what you need to do to make sure that they're secure, just put a little UV resin in a clean mixing bowl, and then with your brush just touch it into that hole, and then you can start screwing this in. But be careful, because the top can break off, which in that case you can always make another one. Okay, now this is getting a little hard, so I'm going to have to use my pliers for this. And even so, with the pliers, you're going to do it very delicately so you don't break that top part off. Now remember to be careful, and it's only going to go down where the screw part ends. You're not going to try to get this down all the way, because if you do, once it starts going down farther, it can break off. Just do just one more little turn. There. Okay, and then now we'll do the second one. Let's see, I'm getting UV resin all over me for some reason. I do recommend wearing gloves when doing this, especially if you're allergic to this. I'm not allergic to it, so, but even so. And take your little eyelet screw, oh, and then find the hole and start screwing it in. And once it gets too hard to screw in, use your pliers. Do it carefully. Okay, that one went in a little easier. This one could go down. So you just check them to make sure that they're both the same. So this one here can go down just a little bit more. So we'll try it and see if we can. Ah, there we go. Perfect. So now I'm going to put this in under the lamp for 90 seconds. Okay, now that they're done curing, I want to do another layer of resin over the entire top of it. So what you'll need are just a small glass tile, or if you have a large one, you can use just one. I just have these small ones, so I have two. And then we're going to use this Faber-Castell tacket, or sticky tack, and we're just going to place it in the center of each one. And then you'll take one of your beads and then place the eye hook in there into the sticky tack, because you want to coat the entire surface, coat the entire surface of your earring or your bead. So you'll just Just use your clear and then just paint over everything and around. Don't get it on the sticky tack, but just around the parts that you file down. Make sure you don't miss anything. And then I'm going to do the second one, and I'm going to put it in the, well, under the light for, I would say, 180 seconds. All right, now that they're done curing, you can see they get such a pretty shine on them. You can remove them from the sticky tack. Make sure all the sticky tack comes off. And then your next step would be to use your jump rings and your fish hook earrings. So you open it up sideways. Don't ever pull it open like this, because then it'll lose its round shape. Place your little bead on and your fish hook earring, and then you simply close it up. Make sure that those two edges meet, and you have an earring. And then you do the same thing. Open it sideways. Place your bead on and your fish hook earring. Close it up. And there you have some really cute dangle earrings. Now, wasn't that fun? I thought it was. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to make that other pair, and that one's with this mold that has the holes already made for you. So what we're going to do is move some things out of the way. And I already cut up the flowers, so those are ready. And I need a little resin in. Well, first, let's open this up. Put a little resin in here for the flowers. And then we'll fill this up about halfway, because this has that little centerpiece in there for the bead. So we don't need to fill it up all the way, well, almost all the way like we did with the other one. So let's get some flowers in here and get them ready. Now there are some little brown bits in the flowers. That's just the stems. You can use them in there if you'd like. If not, you can just set them aside. Oops, put that over there. And then we'll just take these, and then you're just going to fit them around that little middle piece. Make sure you go all the way around so you don't miss any areas. Oh, we got a lot there. Ooh. See all the bubbles coming up? We're going to remove those in a second. Okay, and then with your brush, simply swipe them away. Try to get all of them. Seems like there's a lot more with this mold than the other one. And you don't have to worry if there are bubbles in there, because sometimes that even makes it look pretty, you know, with the flowers and the little bubbles. So don't worry about it too much. Just get out as many as you can, and then if you have to top it off a little bit, just add a little bit more. And I got a little bubble there. And we can probably put this little flower right in there too. There, like so. And then for the next one, I'll just get all these and put them in there. Again, it's much easier just picking them up with the brush because you can get several at one time, but with the tweezers you'll only get, you know, one at a time, maybe two. Make sure they're covered. You might need a little more resin in there. Just add a little bit. Now don't put too much in there, because just put in what you need. And it's a small bit. Okay. And wipe away some of those bubbles. See a few more over here. Get those. Add a few more in here and there. And you could always like lift it up and check underneath to see if you have enough. This one might need a little bit more. So you can move them around a little bit. And remove the bubbles. And like I said, you can use a lighter to remove the bubbles, or you can use a hot gun and then just blow those bubbles away. But you have to be careful so you don't, you know, blow them right on off, because you have to be careful because it will spray the resin around if you use a hot gun. So, okay. Now, let me take a look. I have to clean off the edges just a little bit. Oops, sorry. Okay. And then now we'll cure it for 180 seconds, first facing up, and then we'll turn it over and we'll do it for another 180 seconds on the bottom side. Okay, now they're done curing and we can remove them from the mold. And as you can see, I don't know if you can, there's a hole. Let's see. That goes all the way through. And we'll have to clean it up, so I'm just going to file this down and I'll be right back. Alright, so they're all filed, and you can see where I filed it. So where it's filed, I'm going to put that at the bottom. And that pretty well covers it, but I'm still going to go over it with a layer of resin. So we'll put the head pin on, like so. Okay. Now, with the head pin, we're going to have to clip it to about 1/4 of an inch. We don't need all that unless we're going to put other beads on, which you could do. That would be fine. And with some round nose pliers, I'm just going to make a loop. Oops. It's not doing what I want it to do. There we go. Probably went out of frame for that, so what you're going to do is you're going to bend it back to I believe it's a 95-degree angle. And then with the pliers, you're just going to start looping it back to make your little loop. Okay. So now that that's done, we're going to follow the same process that we did with the other one, and we're going to put this on either way you could do it. You could do it this way too, if you'd like. You could just poke that little top part right into the sticky tack, like so. But remember, be careful, because we're going to cover the entire thing with some resin. So you're going to take the bowl, put a little bit of resin in there. You don't need much, just about less than a dime size drop. And then we're just going to paint over everything. And then make sure you get those spots that you cleaned up with the file so that they don't show. And then you can just cover the rest of it. And then just look at it closely and make sure that you got everything. Sometimes you can miss it. Okay. And we'll do the other one. Just be really careful. Don't get it on the sticky tack so it doesn't stick to your, well, to your earring, because you don't want that. And then if you have to rotate it, just rotate it to get in there. Plus the earring's moving around too, you know, the bead, so you have to be careful to make sure you get all the spots, and I can see that I didn't because it keeps turning on me. So let's see, right about there. Okay. Then you can set this aside, and then we're going to cure this for 180 seconds. Okay, now that they're done curing, I can remove them from the sticky tack. There we go. Set those aside. There we go. And make sure all the sticky tack's off. All right, now what you'll need is your jump ring. Open it up to the side. Place your bead on. Place your earring, your hook earring. And isn't that pretty? And then we'll do the same with the other one. Trying to find the opening. There we go. Open it up. Put the bead on. Your fish hook earring. Close it up. Make sure the two ends meet. You might have to wiggle it a little bit so they're really close and secure. And oops, almost dropped it. There are your earrings. So I hope you like this video. And to the person who asked the question about making the earrings, I hope this helped. You can do other variations with this. You can put one bead, two beads. You could have a chain hanging off with a bead. Just get really creative with it and make it your own. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and press that bell for any further notifications of any upcoming videos. Also, in the description box below, you can find some of my artwork links and photography links, and also some of my jewelry links. So everybody have a great day. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. See you soon.